Hey guys, one of the things I was really curious about when I got my Mavic 2 Pro was how it would perform at high ISO in low lighting conditions, because I think the city lights are a particularly beautiful thing to film with the drone, and I wanted to see if the Mavic 2 Pro could serve as a replacement to my Phantom 4 Pro in this regard. So was keen to get it out there and tried it at ISO 1600 and ISO 3200, both at the full frame 4K and the cropped in 4K. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this footage. As I play through it, one thing is very obvious. When you get the cropped in view at both ISO 1600 and 3200, you get this incredible banding, which is very ugly, this sort of noisy banding. Now, what I've done here is cropped in on the original section of the screen, which is shown in the cropped in 4K view. Now, obviously, there won't be as many pixels in this view, but you can see there is no banding, or the banding isn't as bad as it is here in cropped in mode. So I think there's some sort of issue here that DJI has at ISO 1600 and above, with very serious banding, sort of noise banding issues. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it just looks very weird. At ISO 3200, it's obviously even worse. This is the full frame view. And then here is the cropped in view. And again, you get this sort of almost sort of colorful banding. You know, there's a line there, there's another one there. You can see it kind of come in and out. And again, if you go and crop down on the full view, you just don't, it's the noise is bad, but it doesn't have this horrible banding effect, which basically makes this footage unusable at ISO 1600, I think, where there are dark patches. Unless you use the full frame. Now, if you crop down to 400%, the noise is obviously pretty bad. You know, in all ISOs, it's worse than 3200, but you also see this kind of, you know, the noise is just much more aggressive and almost sort of you have these horizontal lines in the noise in cropped in high quality 4K mode. So I'm going to be staying away from the high quality cropped in 4K mode unless DJI fixes this in a firmware update. Although I think generally the community is way over optimistic about the things that will be fixed by DJI in a firmware update. I don't usually expect anything more than minor updates or bug fixes in firmware updates. So until I hear anything different, I'm going to be sticking to the full frame view, which is the non-high quality view for my night shots. Now, this could be a bug, I don't know, but it was present on both drones I've owned that are Mavic 2 Pros. My first one was crashed by a friend of mine. That's a long story. So it's not just a problem with my particular unit. But yeah, go ahead and try it yourself, see what you guys think, see if there's also this sort of weird banding issue you have in cropped in mode. And hopefully this is helpful for you guys to sort of see the difference between these various modes. I just want to finish up by saying I do actually think at 1600, this is pretty good. And pretty usable footage. It can be graded. It looks okay. It's still a little bit noisy in the dark areas, but generally I think it performs well. I think the Phantom 4 Pro is slightly less noisy at ISO 1600 and 3200 in the full frame mode, but I don't think it's enough to warrant carrying around a giant Phantom with me. So I'm definitely going to be replacing Phantom 4 Pro with the Mavic 2 Pro for my night work. So go ahead and leave comments and subscribe if this was useful. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say.